Okay, so here we go. Feet parallel, push down from the core of the pelvis, down into the front of your heels. So find that spot on the highest part of your foot, push down there, and lift up from the core of the pelvis. You're lifting up your spine, shoulders nice and easy, and then a big inhale, stretch your arms up, and exhale, hands to your sides. And inhale, reach up, and exhale. And a big inhale, and exhale. And one more, inhale, and exhale. Okay, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bow forward, bending your knees. Knees are wide. Inhale, look up, touching the floor. That's how much your knees are bent. Exhale to bow. Inhale, load your hamstrings. The back of the legs come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your sides. Okay, one more all together. Big inhale. Exhale, bow. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bow. And inhale, come all the way up, up, up. And exhale, hands to your sides. Okay, you take your feet even wider, outer hip distance apart. And we're gonna do this funny exercise, but it's a good one for getting the breath going. It's kind of like our punching exercise, but it's a little bit different. So your feet are outer hip distance, turn your heels in slightly, bend your knees a little bit. So you got this kind of athletic stance. And then we go, inhale, arms swing up. Exhale, make fists jab your elbows back. Okay, so notice I kind of bent my knees. So I go, inhale, sweep up, and then exhale. Now, if you're in your home, you can make a fun noise. Go inhale and then go, and inhale up and go on the exhale. Inhale, bend your knees. Inhale, jab something behind you. Inhale and inhale, elbows back. Two more, up and then bend your knees and jab. Up and bend your knees and jab. Good, and come all the way up and then arms to your sides. Okay, so good warm up. Now, doing the forward punch. So like more breath warm up, bend the knees. We'll keep the knees wide. So this one you're reaching diagonally across. So you're just stretching that upper back. You can start with a nice reach, just opening up the shoulder blades. And then picking up the pace, we're going diagonal. I'm lifting up out of my low back, using my abdominal muscles, and then start to go faster. Open your hands like you're flinging. It's just good energetically. Open up the upper back, open up the breath. Fling out through the elbows, fling out through your hands. You're just going side to side, just like that. Try not to take anyone out. Try not to take your bookcase out. It hurts if you hit things. Okay, good. And enough. All right, now, legs. So we're going to do this in a little bit of a different way. You know the one where we go side to side kick? We'll start with that. So take your feet wide, turn your heels in again, and we go low. So bring your elbows onto your knees and just start going side to side. So this one you're familiar with, and especially early on in the class, it can be a little bit sloppy. Your hips might be coming up. You might not be bent as deep as in your knees as you want to. And I'll show you what that looks like side to side, right? So I'm low, and I'm just going side to side. My hips are above my knees. Okay, now we're gonna go left, right, left, lift up, open your arms, and lift the leg, okay? And then go right, left, right, lift up, open your arms, and go left, right, left, and lift. And we're gonna just keep going like that. Big starfish, open star shape. Yep, and spread your arms wide. That's it. Right, left, right, and lift, left, right, left, and lift. One more, right, left, right, and lift, and back down. Okay, good. So that should get your breath going, get you moving. And now we'll do our little micro warm-up balancy stuff. Now you got your heart rate up. So you got your feet about hip distance apart. Turn your heels in just slightly. Take your arms up, catch your breath, right? So top of the shoulders come down, elbows are below shoulders, wrists are below elbows. That just lets you settle the top of the shoulders. Okay, come up on your toes. You gotta find your breath here, let your heart come back down, and then bend your knees. Your heels are still lifted. Bend your knees out over your toes. lower your heels, and come up. So it feels a lot like ballet. Come up on your toes. Bend your knees out over your toes. Heels reach down, come up. Now find your low abdominals. Come up on your toes. Pull up from the center of the pelvic floor. Keep pulling up as you bend your knees. Keep pulling up. Work those ankles. Heels reach down, come up. And then one more time. I just felt like Richard Simmons saying, work those ankles. Okay, bend your knees out over your toes. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often. Reach your heels down and come up. Okay, now reverse. Keep your arms nice and easy, right? Shoulders are easy. Bend your knees out over your toes. Heels lift in and up. Come up, 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 and reach your heels down. Do it from the side. Okay, bend your knees out over your toes. Heels lift. Come up, up, up on your toes, and then reach your heels down. One more time. Sit low, sitting back with your torso. Heels in and up. Come up, and reach your heels down. Good, shake out your arms. So it's warming up the feet that way. Okay, now side to side, we've been doing the wide lunge. How about this lunge? So starting with your feet together, squat, or close, I should say, feet are close, squat. Now step your right foot out and slide that way back to center, step it to the front. Step your left foot out, slide, center, step. Step right and center. So look, each time I glide, I'm straightening that center leg and then I'm coming back to it. And then I step and I'm straightening my center leg and step back to it. Got it? Okay, so we'll pick up that pace. It's a stretch, it's a groin stretch, which a lot of runners need. Okay, the groins get tight, those inner thighs. And it's a lateral movement, which a lot of us runners don't do. My hands are just loose in front of me. They can do whatever. You could do fun things. We could add some Zumba type things. So I'm gliding and step and glide. Let's do one more each side and step. And notice I'm low the whole time. So I'm using those legs and back up. Okay. So now let's go into some single leg balancing type stuff. Standing on your right leg, we'll pick up the left knee, pick it all the way up, above your hip. Get that knee way up there. And just balance. Just work the balance. Again, let your heart rate come back down. Keep your head stacked on top of your pelvis. Spread your toes. Okay, then into our most universal standing leg balancing pose we do in this class, which is this one. The standing leg, call it single leg standing deadlift. It doesn't make any sense why it's called that, but here we go. The leg goes back, the torso comes forward. And we're just going really slow. Arms do whatever you want in this case. Then let's see today, can you glide that back leg straight through without touching down and then bend the knee up to the chest. And then we go back. We're just gonna do 3 really slow. Leg goes back, straight leg, glide it through, knee up to chest. And one more, slow, leg goes back, torso parallel to the ground, slide that leg through, straight leg, and knee up to chest, and foot comes down. Okay, second side. Knee up to chest. So get it way up there. Hello. Okay. Oh, okay. I wonder if it's... Yep, we're switching legs. Yep. Right leg is up, finding that balance. And now we go back, back, back. Hold it. Resist the twist. And then straight leg, bring it through. Bring it through. So it's gliding, it didn't touch down, and knee comes up. Find your posture, stack your head, and then we go back nice and slow. We're challenging the balance on the standing leg. We're trying to challenge that ankle and foot to work, but mostly we're trying to get the glute and the hamstring to work. So we come through, straight leg, not touching down, knee comes up, and one more time. We go back, 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 slow. Maybe both legs are straight. Maybe the standing leg is bent because your hamstrings are tight. That's fine. Bring this leg through and we come up and enough. So it is just that slow, okay? All right, now squats, leading into some low squats and roll-ups. So for our squats, outer hip distance apart, heels maybe just slightly turned in. It's up to you. You could go parallel. Just make sure your knees track with your toes. And we're just going down, just like so. Just that action, as low as you can. Torso is trying to be vertical, right? It's not going to literally be vertical, but what you're not doing is leaning forward, okay? So you're trying to stay more upright, lift the low belly, get those hips low as the knees, push into both feet, check that you're pushing into both feet, that one leg isn't stronger than the other. Of course, one leg is stronger, but here's your opportunity to notice that and work with it a little bit. Shift your weight around consciously to center. And we'll do one more. Okay, and coming up. All right, now the roll. So this is kind of a fun, it may not work in your space, but we're gonna do it, see how we can make it work. So here it goes. We go all the way down, sit back, right, which you may have to use your hands for, roll back, roll up to sit. Okay, so that's part one. So you may just be stuck with the roll part, which is great for your spine. Make sure you've got a rug or a towel behind you. Okay, so that's part one. Part two is roll back, roll up, come up. Okay, we're gonna do 5. So if you can't come up, don't worry, it won't take that long. So here we go. We squat down with control, roll back, feet are wide, knees are wide, right? And back down. Okay, and roll up. Feet are wide, knees are wide, meaning hip distance apart at least. And back down. And roll up. So this is 3. Again, if you're getting stuck, don't worry. Just do the parts you can. It's a good mobility, and it's good for mobility, and it's good to just work on over time. Remember, holding something out in front of you, a weight, makes a big difference. A cat is a great thing to hold out in front of you. Small dog, small human. We'll give you some ballast to get up and down. Okay, so now we'll all meet standing again, and we're gonna go into some lunges. Standing at the back of your mat. So this is a little bit of a different lunge than we've been doing with these videos. So it looks like this, right? I'm gonna step my left foot forward, lean way far forward, grab an imaginary thing out in front of me, lift my back leg. Notice how my ribs and my stomach are on my front leg. Then I touch down, come up, step back. We're gonna switch legs back and forth, doing 30 seconds of that. Modify the lunges to work for you. So if your knees bother you, don't do the full lift off, don't do such a big step. All right, so here we go. Left foot forward, reaching out, and back leg lifts, step it back. Switch legs, right foot forward, lean, way out there, back leg lifts, and come out. Stack your weight over that front heel and then step it back. Switching legs and step it back. So just keep going. We're gonna do another, probably one on each side there. Right leg forward, lean, and step it back. Okay, there's a way of trying to get you to load your hamstrings again. That's what all of this is about. But now we'll stretch the quads a little. So again, if you have a counter or a table or straps you could hold on to, or a chair, that will help with your knees. But step your left foot back, nice long lunge. Stack yourself over your back leg, so I'm not forward here, I'm way back here. Again, I could be, for knee issues, I could just hold this position and be opening up my hip flexor, okay? And then you just meet us in the same position. Otherwise, we're gonna start dipping that back knee down. My front knee is gonna bend, but then it's gonna stay in that right angle. So we did this one in the previous class, where we're just dipping that back leg, learning to keep the front knee right where it's at. And just 2 more. So that front knee is not sliding forward. I'm really working my back hip flexor, back quad, and step forward. And then we'll step the right leg back, and get into your toes, get into the crease of the toes, lean your torso back. Back knee is facing straight down to the ground. Okay, and you could just stay right here working this nice athletic stance, or dip the back knee down. 1, 2, I come sliding up and down a pole through my torso, right, up and down that axis of the spine. And last one, and up, and come all the way up. Okay, one more little thing I want to work on is the really slow motion stepping back into a lunge, and then we'll turn that into some lateral work. So first off, from the front of your mat, pick up your left foot, hold it there, so get that balance, right? Establish that. Then very slowly, just like we were doing in the deadlift, I'm leaning forward, stepping that foot back. Now, very slowly, leaning back to touch down. So we're just working on that slow action. Now, take your arms up to the sky, and then we're going to open them to the left, up to the sky, open to the right. So we're just going to do that 2 more times. Up, open, left, up. Use your abdominals, open, right. There should be a good stretch in that back thigh, open, and then, open left, come up, and then this time squared off, touch down. Okay, so we'll work on this little part of the routine. Step your right foot up and back to the sky. And all of a sudden you have weight on your hands, you're in a 3-legged downward dog. Just holding that, stretching through that back leg, and then draw that right knee in, step it forward, back into your lunge, come all the way up, and slowly step to the front of your mat. So see if you can shift your weight onto the right foot, lifting up, back to even, and hands come down. Okay, so it's all about that slow weight transfer, a little bit of knee bend, athletic stance. Here we go, second side. Shift your weight to your left side and pick up your right knee, and then very slowly, we're sending it back, just working the balance on your left leg. You want to get to where holding 30 seconds on single leg is no problem, right? That's a good goal. And then stepping back, slow lunge, and we'll take the arms up and open up to your right. We're just spinning around the axis of the spine. Inhale up and open to your left. And inhale up and open right. You could always do this with straight legs. Come up and open left and come up and open right, come up, and then we'll square off that front foot and sweep the left leg up and back. So the weight is now in my hands, left leg sweeps back, lean back through your hips, stretch that right leg, stretch the calf, the heel, whatever's tight back there, and then draw your left foot through, back to that lunge. Arms come up, and a slow shift, weight onto the left foot, stepping to the front of your mat, up, hands to your sides. Okay, all right, now, one of the things we don't get to do in this class without the TRX straps is a sprinter start. So we're gonna do a variation of that without the straps, and you're gonna imagine you have straps. The sprinter start is where we're hanging forward, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and we have the straps here. You can imagine you're hanging onto straps. So step your left foot forward, right foot back. Lean your torso forward, pull on your imaginary straps as if the straps are coming from the ceiling back behind me, okay? And then launch onto your left foot, draw your right knee up to your chest. So it's a launch, knee up, and step back, see? So that's our sprinter's lunge right there. And I'm just holding on to my imaginary straps. I don't know, mentally it helps me. So we're gonna do 30 seconds like that on the left leg. It's a good one, it will get your heart rate up. Ready? And go. So we go up with the knee and step back, and up with the knee and step back. You have to really work the balance on that standing leg, right? You don't have straps to help you. If you want to hop at the top, you can, right? Just adding that in, jumping off the standing leg. So that's 20 seconds, keep going. Just gonna definitely get your heart rate up. That is the point. This class is a little bit more interval work in it. And last one, and come back. Okay. It's funny, I don't usually fully practice with you guys when I teach, so it's hard. It's hard to keep talking. All right, so step your left foot back, right foot forward, and you imagine you're hanging into your straps, like they're holding them right at your armpits there. Get a good stretch through that back calf. Okay, and then we're gonna do 30 seconds. So you can just step forward and back, or you can add a little jump at the top. So I'm hanging, and then my knee comes up, and I step back. And up, shifting the weight. Getting really good at that weight shift, single leg stance. Working the balance. Teaching your hips to trust both legs one at a time. We often are able to stand on one leg at a time, well, like on one side, and then the other side is not so strong. So like for me, today, I'm building my right leg confidence. So I can get that hop in, and that's enough. Good. Okay. Now, come all the way down. However you like, I'm gonna go through a squat and roll onto my back. Okay, so you could just come down, sit down, and then we'll come onto our back, all the way back. Bring your hands to your low stomach, and just pause for a moment, so we're gonna let the heart rate come down. And we're gonna do a little abdominal kind of tune-up check-in, and then we'll turn it into the more classic Pilates abdominal series of 5. Okay, so the tune-up check-in is hands on low belly, and low back is, in this case, flat on the mat. So you may have to lift your hips, get your tail tucked just a tiny bit to get your back down. Then draw your knees up. And we're going to draw the knees right into the chest, just like we did in our previous class. Not into a full tabletop, but actually drawing them in so the tail stays tucked to start. Relax your toes, relax your shoulders, your face. So the tune-up part of this is just what we did the other day. I'm going to keep my right knee tucking in, and I'm just going to tap my left foot back and forth. Now notice if your belly pushes out against your hands as you do that. And can you hold your stomach still, not rigid, not braced, but just toned, right? Trying to resist that urge to push the belly out, resist the urge to arch the low back. The front ribs are tucking in, and then we'll switch sides. So holding your left knee in, just tapping that right leg. So it should be pretty relaxing. We're letting the heart rate come down. There's definitely effort. Okay, this is not like so easy. I've got to pay attention. I've got to keep my back down. I've got to particularly have to pay attention to not creating tension in my upper back or neck, or maybe for you it's your shoulders or your fingertips, right? So it's just the abdominals, the sides of the waist are helping me. One more tap and back to center. Okay, now bring both legs up to the sky. We've talked about how that doesn't always work for people to have straight legs there. You could bend your knees if you need to. Keep your heels together, knees apart. Otherwise, legs up. Keep your right leg where it is. Keep your hands on your low stomach to start. Lower your left leg and bring it back up. And we're just going to stay with the left leg 2 more times. It lowers. Don't let your abdominals move, and back up. It lowers and back up. Now, right leg, holding your left leg still, just about 45 degrees. That's all you're going, because you're holding your rib cage still. You're holding your low back down, and lower that leg and back up. And one more. And then take your arms straight up to the sky. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back. Now you have to hold your shoulder blades, your upper back, your abdominals as you lower that left leg and back up. Go 1, left leg, 2, and 3. Nothing's moving except the leg. And then the right leg 3 times. It just goes to about 45 degrees. My legs are not, I'm not trying to have any tension in the legs. They're toned, they're working, but they're not gripping. And that's a thing to work on too. Okay, finally, the arms and legs are going to go opposite directions. So the left leg goes down, the right arm goes overhead. I can bend my elbow and then come back. Right leg down, left arm overhead and back. Okay, so now try to hold everything else still. So it's left leg back, right arm back, but left arm, right leg are trying to stay where they're at. Okay, left arm back, right leg down, holding everything else still. We're gonna do one more to each side. Left leg down, right arm back, and back up. And then left leg down, right arm back, and back up, and rest. It's like a slow jellyfish, upside down jellyfish dance. That's how I feel somehow. Okay, now rock yourself up to sit however you need to, so you can hold on to the back of your legs, use your momentum, and we're gonna come up, and now we're gonna start the abdominal series of 5, the traditional Pilates series. So going right into the 100, holding on to the shins to start, to balance, shoulder blades back and down, draw your low abdominal muscles in and up, straighten your arms out, and slowly roll onto your low back. We're gonna stretch the legs out on a high diagonal, pumping your arms. Go inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the legs if you want. And go inhale, but my abdominals are holding still. I'm using the back of my legs. My butt muscles can fire a little bit. My inner thighs are reaching long, so I'm not getting bunched up in the hip flexors. I'm pulling my abdominals in and up away from my legs. And go inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more breaths. Go inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale, 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 exhale. Stretch your legs, stretch your arms long. We're gonna go right into the roll up. So arms come up, head comes up, curl your head and chest up, and exhale, round over. Nice back stretch there. Inhale, start to go back. Exhale, roll it out. Inhale, arms come up, head comes up. Exhale, over. Inhale, shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, exhale, down. Inhale, arms come up, head comes up. Exhale, over. Inhale, shoulders back and down. And exhale, that's our last one. Come all the way down. Okay, arms to your sides. Draw your right knee into your chest. Now, taking your strap, belt, bathrobe, thinger, whatever you got, we're going to stretch that right leg just for a bit. If you don't have a strap, simply hold on to the sole of your foot, rest your head back. So it's just a little bit of a different hamstring stretch, but they both work. Trying to get that thigh bone to set into the hip socket, into the back of the pelvis. Pelvis is flat. Good, let's just briefly reach that heel above the toes and then relax. Okay, now put your strap to the side, hands to your side. We're gonna do leg circles. Pull the leg in, go across the body, down, kick it up. So we're making long ovals with the leg, only the width of the mat. Everything else is trying to hold still. So this is like building on that previous exercise of moving one leg at a time with the ribs holding still, the left leg is holding still. Now reverse directions, go out to your right for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and place that leg down. Take your left leg up, and again, optional. If you have a strap, go for it. Otherwise, you're just holding on with your hands. It's good to find something in your house you can use to stretch your legs. I like this hamstring stretch because the floor is behind us, so the pelvis is level side to side, right? A lot of times we do this stretch with our leg up on a chair or the couch if we're standing, for example, and then the hips aren't squared off. So here, the hips are squared off, and it's going to challenge certain muscles in the back of the leg that you might not otherwise get. When you're standing, you can shift out of things. Here, we can't, for example, shift out of the Achilles tendon. So if you reach through that heel strong, and that's a big one. For most of us, the Achilles tendon needs to get stretched, especially as we get older. That tends to be when we strain the Achilles. So really reaching through that heel and then just pause. But doing that, a couple times a week will help keep that Achilles tendon happy. All right, put your strap to the side, hands to your side, and circles. We pull the leg in toward us, across to the right, down, and kick it up. Remember, your leg is only going as wide as the width of a mat. So that's only about 2 feet, about the width of your right hip, and it's a little wider than your left hip. Down, kick it up. One more this direction, and kick, and then go out to your left, not very far, and kick. So maybe I'm brushing heel to toe at the bottom, Yep, and I come right up the middle, and 4, and 1 more. Kick it up and place that leg down. Okay, now we're gonna go into the full abdominal series of 5. Draw your knees into your chest, hold on to your shins, curl your head and chest up. Sorry, I curled up too high, but there you go. Curl your head and chest up, and then holding on to your right knee, stretch your left leg out. We're going into this one. Single leg stretch and reach the right leg out. And switch. Now you can add the breath. We'll do the full breath. So it goes inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, and exhale, exhale. You can absolutely put your head down on the mat here, right? So you don't have to strain your neck. We're learning over time to use the low abdominal muscles to help us keep our head curled up, but it doesn't always work. So it's totally fine to do this with your head down and rest. Okay, same thing with this next one. The only thing is, when your head is down, you probably have to adjust the height of your legs, right? So that I can keep my low back down. So if I take my legs out here, it's a lot of strain on the low back. My abdominals aren't strong. So up here is fine, right? Okay, otherwise, holding onto your shins, curl your head and chest up. So here's what it looks like. Double leg stretch. We're all going to do it together. Reaching the arms and legs out. That's what it looks like with my head curled up. Exhale. Here's what it would look like with my head down. Inhale and exhale. So we'll do one more like that. Inhale, my head is down. I'm keeping my back on the mat. Exhale. And then with the head and chest up. Inhale and exhale. Even though my arms are reaching long behind me, my rib cage is tucked in. Let's do 2 more. Reach long and exhale. Inhale, reach long, keep the ribs down, and exhale, rest. Okay, scissors. So that's just the key. If the head is down, it's a little bit harder to control what the ribs and low back are doing. So in a way, it's good work because you really have to put your focus on your abdominals. Curl your head and chest up. Ideally, your focus is on your abdominals with your head and chest up as well, but it's a little bit easier to cheat because I'm creating a rounding just by being up here. So my back is automatically down, right? And then if I put my head down, I've got to work my ribs and my abdominals. Okay, so traditionally the head and chest are up. So we'll do this. Holding on to the right leg, left leg goes long, and switch. Yes, and keep going. And reach, shoulder blades back and down. If I can reach up higher, right, I'll reach up for my ankles and switch. Just scissoring the legs, trying to hold my low back down and reach. Shoulder blades are down. Neck is easy and switch. And last one, and bend the knees and rest your head. Okay, so double leg lift. You can definitely do double leg lift with your head down. You have to be so careful about your low back. So basically that's just this, right? Double leg lift with the head and chest down. Let's all do it to start. Come onto your back, head down, legs straight up to the sky, heels together, and start to lower your legs, and then just bring them right back up. So you're not going very far, right? Because you're really pressing your low back down into the mat a lot. So we do that and come back up. Just do 2 more like that. Try to ease up on the shoulders and the neck, and 1 more. And holding the back down. Good. And then bend your knees. Now, if you can, curl your head and chest up. Variation number 2 is reach the arms forward. Let's keep the knees bent. So let's go through all 3 variations. Why not? And we lower the legs and come back up. My heels are together, knees apart, lower and come back up. Now I can really curl up, and back up. Now, rest your head. The final variation. Hold on to the back of the legs, curl your head and chest up. Legs straight up to the sky, hands behind your head. Okay, but still with that same low back control that you had in the previous 2 exercises. Lower, 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 and lift. We'll just do 3 because we've already done quite a few of these. And back up, and you go down. If you can go down low, do it, but keep your low back on the mat, and back up, and bend your knees, and rest your head. So you have a whole repertoire of leg lifts to do. Leg lifts are fun, all the variations. Okay, crisscross, our last one of the abdominal series. Curl your head and chest up. 1 hand on top of the other at the base of the skull. Stretch your left leg long. Cross over to your right, armpit to knee, and switch. Cross over and switch. Now find your breath. It helps. Go inhale, switch, inhale. Exhale, exhale. Pick up the pace a little bit. reach that opposite leg. So you're opening up the hip as you stretch the leg and reach and reach. Go inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. One more full breath starting now. Let's go inhale, inhale, and exhale, exhale, rest. All right, so that's it for the abdominal series. Let's rock ourselves up. We're going to come all the way into a squat. So you use your hands, come into your squat right here, low squat. All right, so my feet are at least hip distance apart. I can reach my hands forward. I'm trying to maybe get my heels down on the mat. They may not, it doesn't always work. I could always hold on to something ahead of me like my mat, but just working on that ankle and knee and hip mobility in the squat, just for another moment here. And then we're going to lean forward, place your hands, come onto your knees, and come up on your knees. Okay, so here we are. Turn to face the camera, the screen, your computer. Okay, and stretch your left leg out. So you're in this long position. And then we're going to take the right hand down and lift the left leg. We're going to keep the left arm on the hip for now, and then back down. So that's all we're doing to start. Okay, so just 4 or 5 times, lifting and back up. And the hand just is sitting there on the leg, lift and back up. And one more, lift and back up. Okay, and we're going to switch sides. We're going to come back to that again, that first side again, but let's balance things out for a moment. Hand is just gliding there. I lift, fingertips are down and back up. Just getting that tipping. Use your abdominal muscles. Relax your neck and shoulders. Just using those side body muscles and back up. All right, now back onto your knees. This time, left leg reaches out. We're gonna tip just like we just did, but the arm will come up. Okay. Now bend this knee in, place it down on the mat, sit down on your back heel, open your arms up, look to your right. And then right hand comes down, left arm up, shoot that left leg up to the sky. Bend the knee in, place the foot down, sit onto your right heel or thereabouts, open up. So keep going. It's a slow, funny lateral body, side body motion. Sit down on that right knee. It's a big knee mobility, stretch. Yep, and open up. Keep going. Heel comes down, left arm to the inside of the left knee, open to your right. One more time, right hand down, left leg lifts, left foot comes in, sit low, open up, and then come up onto both knees, and we're back to center. Stretch your right leg out. Okay, first off, arms come up into a T position, side body, right? So that's using your side body. Lift that right leg up. Now bend the knee, tip the foot down toward the floor, put the foot down, sit back on your left foot. Right hand comes to the inside of the right knee, open to your left. Then hand comes down. So we're just revolving around the axis of the spine. I love these movements where we kind of work the spine in its full range of motion. Extension, flexion, lateral, twisting, and lifting your leg back up. Bend the knee, place the foot down. Arms open, look to your left. Hand comes down, right leg goes up. Bend that right leg, foot to the floor, hand to the open knee, look up. One more time. Open, lift, bend knee, back down, look to your left. All right, and back to center. Good. Okay, now let's do a little lateral movement with our arm work too. So starting first with just a 30-second straight arm plank. Okay, so just that's all we're gonna do, straight arm plank. Take your hands outer mat distance apart, walk your feet back, hold your plank. This is great abdominal work. It's also good to work on straightening the elbows. A lot of people have a hard time straightening the elbows. You might not even realize. Some people over straighten the elbows. That tends to be okay, actually. So just holding, rather you over straighten the elbows and have them bent a little bit. So really working that, pushing into your fingertips. Use the sides of your waist, extend your head, holding for 3, 2, 1, and come down. Okay, now the lateral body part of that. If this bothers your wrists, by the way, you have the option of doing this on your forearms, right? So you can do this, I think. I haven't tried it, but man, when I broke my wrist, I did everything on my forearms. So I know you can do everything on your forearms. All right, here we go. Straight arms, if possible. And you're going to take your left leg, knee comes into chest, knee crosses to your right, stretch your leg out, and then bring it back. Notice I didn't touch the foot on the floor and then step that leg back. Right knee into chest, crosses to your left, straighten the leg out, bring it back, and back to center. Okay, so that's the basic action. Knee into chest, twist, reach. Notice I'm in a little bit of a down dog. One could be in a full-on plank and do this, okay? You can totally do that. It's really hard on my wrists to do that, so I lift up and out a little bit, okay? So we're going to time 30 seconds doing that left to right. If you just already practiced, excellent. Take a short break, and now, that was your whole break. Now start, straight arms, and we're crossing, knee into chest and across, knee into chest and across. So 30 seconds, twisting. It's just a little twist through the torso. The hips are pretty lifted compared to that variation we do where the hip drops down to the ground. We're just knee into chest, kicking it out to the side. Knee into chest, kicking it out to the side. Rotating around the torso. Yep, side to side. Again, you could be in a much lower plank. That works too. And last one to that side, and come down. Okay, and shake out your wrists. In fact, let's come on to the forearms. Turn your palms face up. Spread your fingers. Get the back of the wrists down on the mat, and then see if you can get your thumbnails down on the mat too. So we're just opening up the wrist there. And then go ahead and turn your palms face down. And we're right in position to do a forearm plank. Isn't that convenient? Okay, so if you didn't already do one, now you get to do one. Elbows are narrow shoulder distance apart, and start. Just straighten your legs, lower your hips if possible. So a lot of us start here in our forearm plank until we get the hang of it. But if you can, walk your feet back or just lower your hips, or a little of both until you're in a real plank. Sometimes it's hard to know how much of a plank you're in. You should be exactly 1 cat height above your yoga mat, or toddler, so you can't squish them. And we're coming up on 30, 3, 2, 1, and come down. Okay. And one last thing to get our heart rate up. Let's do mountain climber since we're working on our arms. And we can either do mountain climbers or you can do grasshopper. So mountain climbers is we're in this sort of, down dog-ish position, right? And that's just knees up to armpits, right? So I can go fast, I can go slow, I can do any variation of that for 30 seconds. Grasshopper is a nice twist with the hip open where I'm going opposite elbow to knee. So just that, and I could straighten the leg out. It's a little bit like we were doing, but I'm in more of a down dog. Okay, ready? So 30 seconds, getting your heart rate as high as you can in 30 seconds. That's the whole point. This class is a little bit more of an interval class than the previous one. Ready? Start. In your down dog, you're crossing knees or just knees to armpits, mountain climbers, 30 seconds. You can do variations. I can do some grasshopper. That's going opposite. Don't catch your toes on your yoga mat or anything else in your house. A little grasshopper, a little mountain climber. That's 20 seconds. Keep going. Get your heart rate up. It's good. Get your heart rate up today. It's probably the last time you'll get it up today, so go for it. See if you can lose your breath. I'll have to stop talking soon. And that's 30. Come on down. Come all the way down. Sit your hips back. Stretch your arms out. Lower your head. Extended child's pose. So let your heart rate start to rest. It's always nice to feel it. Feel a nice full breath. And just paying attention. funny. I definitely remember, and I know a lot of people have told me this, feeling like ever so slightly freaked out about having a high heart rate. Like it can feel a little scary. There's a little adrenaline with it. And I think once you start exercising, start working out, we get used to that feeling. But even so, in this class, just noticing the heart rate going up, the heart rate coming down. Like it's okay, calming yourself down, right? Like consciously realizing, oh, I'm not dead. I'm okay. My heart rate is really high and I'm still okay. All right, downward facing dog. There is this sort of background fear, right? And I think it's a little bit adrenaline based. The heart rate goes up, the adrenaline does start to rise, but we can consciously just tune in and be like, oh, okay, that's just a high heart rate. That's because I'm working out. That's moving blood around my body. Lean back. I know also when I was a kid, I was so self-conscious of breathing hard. You know, we'd go hike up a mountain with our class or friends or whatever, and I'd be breathing hard, and I thought that was so embarrassing to breathe hard. And it's like, I think people still feel that way. You could walk your feet forward, your hands, like it's a sign of being out of shape or something. It's not. Breathing is like a really good thing. Think about that. It's like a sign of being alive. Definitely not a sign of something bad. Being out of breath, maybe, but nice full breaths, that's good stuff. Okay, I walked my feet forward to my hands, hands to my feet. I'm in a nice easy forward bend. Shins are parallel. That means my knees are not coming together, pushing down into your feet. I've got my knees bent so I can just rest my upper body. And then bring your elbows to your knees. Sit your hips back a little bit. Look up. Push into your feet. So now our head is above our heart. So take a moment there just so you don't pass out when you come to stand up. And hug your leg muscles into the bones. They'll help increase your blood pressure as you come to stand all the way up. And just standing, feet hip distance apart. Pause for a moment. Feel your feet on the earth. Lift through the top of the chest without taking your arms up. Just take a big inhale and a full exhale. Nice job.